Okay guys, so today I'm moving home. Kind of. I'm moving my non-self part of me to a new home, which is my computer, because it is literally my baby. So here we have my case, which is a CoolerMaster CM 693 case. It is a mid-tower case, although it is on the bigger side of it. And as you can probably see in there, it is a bit dusty. I've been busy the past while, so I really haven't had time to clean it. And I don't know, just in this house, dust builds up pretty quickly, so it's one thing to remember to clean it out as much as you possibly can. And yeah, as you can see, if you see these white leads here, they are 4 extra USB 2 on the back. I actually found these out in our shed because we took them out of an old Dell, and I found it and I decided why not. So I usually just off-course the side panel. I'm not going to bother showing you the inside because you'll see all the parts when we are about to put them into the Zalman H1 case. If you didn't see the unboxing of it, I'll put a link to it down below. Okay, so pick this up. Oh god. And then we come over here. And we pick up the new case. You will be able to see the sheer size difference. Yeah, the entire top part of this case is pretty much, so the CoolerMaster case is pretty much this size. This the indent on the side panel. That's pretty much the size of the CoolerMaster, actually a little bit smaller. And the side panel is yeah, it's huge compared to the CoolerMaster one. Now this has been in my room for a while, so it will obviously have some dust on it, but I will give it a good cleaning before I put all the parts in, so it'll be nice and fresh to use. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's get straight into the build. Okay, well now it's time to start building in the new case. Now I'm just going to show you all the stuff on this. I have showed it before, but as you can see, you have your USB 3, your USB 2, headphone and microphone jack, reset button, your reset little LED, your power button. As you can see, they're both different sizes, so you won't really get mixed up with them so much. Now this is part of the case I really like. So if you can see here, there's a little LED readout there, and that says degrees Celsius. So it'll read out the degrees Celsius inside the case. There's a little temperature probe that you can place anywhere in the case, and you can change it so that the AHV here, these flaps open, and the fans under here start spinning and exhaust air. You can change it to turn on at 35 degrees or 45 degrees. So 35 degrees would be like if you're gaming, you don't want your computer to heat up a ton, so you want it to cool it down as quick as possible. And 45 degrees would be just if your everyday usage, it'll just go up and up and up, and eventually it'll just turn off. HV system, you can turn it on and off. Now this is to just turn the fans on or off, and what it'll do is you can turn the fans off, and then that opens the flaps. So, and then eventually that turns the fans on to full speed. You have your two fans in it, like one in the front and one in the back. That's these. So it doesn't click to a certain setting. You can put it at anything. You could put it at 55.1 if you're able to get it to that. So now if we look at the front, as you can see, this opens, and the fan behind here, that's to get a little bit more airflow in, except for just around the side. Of course, there's already dust collecting on it, but anyway, as you can see, there's ventilation all around it, all the way down, and then you can open that just for more airflow. Now behind here is a 200mm blue LED fan. It's meant to be relatively quiet. Now if we turn this around, just pull off the side panel. As you can see, you have your giant side panel window there. Should not scratch that window, because that would be devastating. So you have your GPU support bar here. So what it'll do is, imagine my motherboard's in and my graphics card's in. It'll be somewhere here. So what you do is you turn this, and you bring it up to the right setting, and that stops your GPU from sagging. I close it, and now the GPU no longer sags; it rests on this. But I can also take it out from here. I can move it closer, or I can move it further away, or I can take it out altogether. Now, I think it'd be nice to keep it just so my GPU doesn't sag, and so I can move it to here. And with moving it to here, it should be out of the way of the side panel window, and so that's even better. But these two here, these are for if you want to put on an additional fan. Move this one up, and eventually you'll have room for 120mm. You can use the screw holes, or you can just make the fan be like held in between there, which means the air will come in the front, and you can push it further with this fan onto your CPU, cooler, whatnot. Inside you have all your grommets. There are plenty of grommets in this. So this one, your power supply will be here. All your cables will go through here. So you have all these to go into the side of the motherboard, but you also have the non-grommeted ones up the top. So your cables can come up and over and into your motherboard and everything like that. And now if you see up here, you have your two fans, your two exhaust fans, and your one on the back. So now we're going to take out the, we're going to move over the GPU kind of bracket thing. I'm not really sure what you call it. GPU support bar, I think, sounds the best, because, you know. First of all, just let me see. you should just pop out. Screwdriver down. There you are. There's that. There you go. Here. I know. Just get this. Try to get this screw out. There we go. And then pick the screwdriver back up. Now, let's move it over. Just move this up and down. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the power supply. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not even sure if the amount of builds in this channel, I'm not even sure if I should really make this a tutorial. But I'll go 50-50, I guess, just a build video or a tutorial. I'll try to not show you the cables. And do that. Now I get my screws. Okay, so first you wanna line up your power supply with the holes and stuff. Second thing you wanna do is you want to just put in your screws. Now with these newer power supplies, like you can have them either way, like the fan facing down or the fan facing up. In fact, some power supplies have LED fans on them, and it's kind of like they're saying you're missing something if you have it pointing down, and so you can light up the inside of your case and stuff. But I prefer to have my power supply facing down, sucking fresh cool air from outside of the case, rather than pulling the slightly warmer air from inside the case. Now that is power supply in. Just let me go around and tighten these up. You don't want to over tighten it, just because you might just break the threads on the screws, or sometimes if it's actually if the power supply itself is threaded, you don't want to wreck it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my I/O shield. Now luckily I know exactly which way this goes up, so I'm not going to run off the motherboard and check. I'm going to now with that in, I'm going to try and fit the motherboard. Then we're going to get started on putting all my cables through the back and getting it all neat and tidy. And then we can probably start putting all the other parts in. Okay, so as you can see, before I put the motherboard in, with this case you have a giant CPU cutout, so water cooling will not be a problem in this case. Plus it's just huge. So now if we make sure we don't hit the GPU support bar. And now we try and place down the motherboard. And now there we go, that's all the screws lined up as far as I can tell. Yep. So the reason they look different is because standoffs in this case are black, so you can't see the brass shining through. So now all we have to do is screw it down. I'm going to put in my first standoff here. I'm just going to do that there, which means the case can't move, or sorry, the motherboard can't move around. It can really only pivot in the middle. So now just bring the screw down. There we go. Just that in, and now I'll come back to you when I have all of these put in. Now I'm just tightening up the last screw. That's them all. That's all of them in. Yep, they're all tight. Now it's time to put the RAM in. So the only problem with this cooler is the fact that it blocks the first RAM slot. So I'm going to have to use this one and the last one. So as you can see, the little notch here. It'll line up with the notch in the actual in the socket. Go down like that and just press down on both sides until you hear the clicks from both sides. So this time, push down. Just make sure that those clips are indeed in there, and that's how to install your memory. Probably the easiest part of the entire build. Now it's time to put in the graphics card. Now this is something I find kind of funny. If I just put this roughly to where it would be, and if you look, it is literally the perfect length to go in here. As in, this will literally be catching right here, perfectly, making it not sack. So that's just something I kind of have to laugh at. First, just move you down. Now, I'm putting it in here, so it should be this one and this one. Take out the screw. Bit tight, but anyway. Like that. There we go. I can just pull it up and pull this one up. Step them down somewhere else. That one can fall on the ground. And now, make sure that's not in the way. So it literally just slides down, and then you slide in your little clip just so it's not going to pop up. See the little notch just there, that push that back down, and you should be able to just pull the graphics card out. Now you want to get your screws and just tighten them back down. In fact, I will get my screwdriver, just line that up a little better. Sorry, I might be getting in the way, but you just kind of need to start this by hand. And now tighten it. You want it to be nice and tight because you don't want your graphics card to like wobble, because that'll make more noise as well. Especially if the fans are spinning, a little bit of vibration will come for them. There we go. Got the other one. Use my good hand to tighten this in because I'm a little bit more clumsy with the other one, but I do have a slight case of butterfingers today. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to where it is. I'm going to put it a little bit more and just tighten it so it's not going to move. So now, as you can see, the only problem is here. I'm going to have to squeeze the cable in, but that's not really a problem. As you can see, this is not going to sag anymore, and also it's going to be out of the way of the side panel window, so it's perfect. Okay, so now that's in, and one thing I have done is I have put in the like power LED and reset LED and stuff like that just here, and I've it going across. I might just tighten that a little bit more. I have the cable tied here, and it's going out through here. I couldn't find any, oh, sorry, I think I hit the camera there, but couldn't find any other good grommet to put it through, so that's like the cleanest look I can give it, and it doesn't actually look too bad. So now we're going to be talking hard drives. I'm definitely taking out this top hard drive gauge. So what you do is you just take out this thumbnail, or sorry, thumb screw, and there should be two here, but I already have those taken out. just slides out. Now these, just by looking at them, you can tell they're very sturdy cages. It just looks like it looks like an actual cage, which is not a very good description, but anyway. Put this down there. And another thing before I do anything with this, in here are your 5 1/4 inch bays. Now I have my DVD rewriter here. And the only thing I've ever used it for since I got it, 2 years ago now, I've only used it to install Windows. Now you can get that on a USB key, or I can just hook it up, unhook it, because I'm never going to use it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to actually put my hard drive in here, because it comes with a little, if you can see in there, it comes with a little 3.5 inch adapter. And so I'm going to put my hard drive in there, take this out, allowing like probably the best efficient airflow I can get from this case, and then I can use the little hot swap leads, just because they're a little bit longer, to go up and into it, out of one of these grommets into the thing, so a little bit easier. Now the reason I'm doing this is because, if you see here, I don't want to ruin the clean look of the front of the case with this, because it's kind of matte, and this is just aluminium. Just about to say aluminum there, but I would probably beat myself up over that. So I want to keep the look, so I can find a way to hook it up somewhere else if I want to use it. So now I'm going to slide this back in after having the hard drive put in the little 3.5 inch. There we go. And just because I don't want this screw lying around, this 3.5 inch adapter comes with a screw in already. So I'm just going to put it back just on this side, whatever it is. So there, if I can get the screw to go in. It doesn't want to go in. Now let me. If we just tighten that up. I'm using my bad hand. That should be tight enough. It wasn't going anywhere anyway, but now it really isn't. It'll just bounce up and down a bit, but that's really it. And so now we take out the bottom drive, or drive cage. Just make sure there's no screw on this side. I know there isn't. So we just pop it off. Now I could, if I wanted to, take out the little ledge they sit on, but I don't think I really need to. That can just stay there. And you see the giant 200mm fan. I'm going to get all the airflow from it straight over. It'll get perfectly to my graphics card. And then the other fans should direct its current. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the front panel back on. So it just kind of weird putting it back on. This side. And that should be that. And just yay. And there you see the giant fan. Okay, so now we have my extra 4 USB 2, you can just see there, USB 2.0. Now I've used these in my computer for, oh god, I must have them almost a year now. And I guess you could say that they're my little lucky charm. They came out of a really old Dell. but I think it's good because I don't have to route all my USBs behind the motherboard. I can just plug them straight in. So I already have the thumbnail taken out. Thumb screw, I keep saying thumbnail. So I'm just gonna put this down there. The reason I'm going for the bottom is so I don't have to route them over the graphics card. And then hold that in place. We just put the thumb screw barely on. There we go. And just push it up. Mount the screwdriver. I can just tighten it there. If you can't tell, I'm really bad with my left hand. There we go. And now, you can see the 4 USBs there. Now here, as you can see, there are, there's your USBs down the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug them in. One in here. Make sure it's lined up right. It is. Let me think. Here. I was putting the wrong one there. Yeah. Sorry for that bit of hesitation. I saw the cat flipping out on the roof. Yeah, it's really tight here. But anyway, I'll get it done. I'll come back to it when it's done. There you see it's plugged in. And I actually kind of like the look of it. It looks interesting just seeing this one little wire here. It kind of draws you to it because since it's white and it kind of I know it looks different than everything else. So now the rest is just the rest of the wiring. So now I have my my satellite. Now the reason this is blue is because we have a different motherboard lying around and these were in the box, so I decided to use these because the front LED fan is blue and I want to get white cables, but I just happen to have this, the 6-pin, which is light blue. So I'm thinking of using this for the 6-pin, have it blue, and then get other white cables. So the thing will be blue and white, then use this, so it's not all just that one little blue cable. So now if I just plug this in here, that just goes in there and then goes into this grommet here. Try to make it as tight a bend as possible and bring it in this grommet. Should go in this way. That and then that should be fine. This side's a bit, I would like it to be a little bit cleaner, but should do. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. And well, this side looks much cleaner. Okay, well, as you can see, all the cabling is done. It's probably inside the case. It is one of the tidiest jobs I've done, especially what's going to be seen through the window. I tried to make it as clean as possible, and one thing just to point out is if you see the 24-pin, the little black lead running in between is actually the temperature probe. So it's a good height, so the warm air will be rising. It's just above the graphics card, so if that gets really hot, it'll definitely open. Hopefully we'll be cooling it down. As you can see, the fans up there. And there's the hard drive that we kind of we managed to put in there. There's your LED fan. Okay, so it's all built, and now I'm about to turn it on. 3, 2, 1, lift off. And now you can see I actually used the green extension lead for the 8-pin PCIe, just because I think it looked nicer than just your average one. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as you can see, the inside of the case is at 26 degrees. If I turn, I can now control this. They push a nice bit of air. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Now, if you come around the front, I'm hoping the flash on the camera doesn't cancel this out. But I get some awesome like Fast and Furious neons. If you don't know why I said Fast and Furious, because in one of the movies, one of the characters drives a car with blue neons. I like the movies. And yeah, like the fan controllers work. I'm using this for the top fans now. You can hear them. You can hear it. Sounds like how you would expect a robot to sound. You're probably not going to be able to hear it, but it's like I don't know. It sounds cool. Like you don't understand how happy I am with this system right now, because I cannot explain how long I was thinking about what cases to get, and I saw this, and with all the features I had for the price, I had to go for it. That is the only thing I can say. Oh, just it's fun. It's fun just to make it go up and down, but I'm gonna stop doing that now, just in case I break it. And I'm going to go and I'm going to mess around with my room. I'm tempted to actually just move my entire desk. And yeah, I'm gonna go hook this all up and play some games.